We find that the elderly are most frequently targeted by this crime type because they're at home to answer the phone, they're at home to answer the door, they've got the time to read through the mail, read through the emails if they're receiving it, and that makes them more susceptible to it. If somebody's living on their own, usually two brains are better than one, and you can share that information with somebody, show somebody a letter, show somebody an email and have that discussion. When you're living on your own, you can quite quickly become quite consumed by what the fraudster maybe is saying and get embroiled into the scam, which could be sort of a romance fraud, an investment fraud, or a known person coming to the door around doorstep crime.
One lady who lives on the estate, very elderly, starting, I would say, senility. She got a doorstep scam from a builder who said her chimney is in a terrible state and it'll fall any moment, and he would repair it for her. She asked him how much it would cost, and he said £750. And she said, well, I haven't got that money in the house. And he said, don't worry, I'll take you to the bank. Classical scam. He took her 6 miles to her bank, drove her there. Fortunately, the cashier had been trained and was aware and didn't let her have the money.
They come from a generation where people were more trusting in general terms, and therefore it leaves them open. Younger generations have grown up in an environment which is different, and therefore they're less trusting, particularly of things that come through email. It's just the nature of the age group, and it isn't limited to people who are, shall we say, less well educated. It can happen just as well to people who you'd think, well, hang on a minute, that person is very well educated, they've had a good job, why is it that they're falling foul of these rather nasty people? Unfortunately, it comes down to loneliness often.
I felt pathetic. I like to think of myself as being quite on top of things, especially when it comes to computers and the internet, and that's where I went down. I was quite disgusted at myself, embarrassed. I even asked my daughter for help, and it was too late. It was only a small amount, which was a lot for me. It might not have been much to some people, but it was a lot to me, not having much money in the world. It's just degrading. It's an insult to your intelligence, and you just feel so stupid. I don't mind telling people about what happened with me because I'm hoping that it will help others, but at the same time most people wouldn't want to tell anybody because they just feel silly.
So Operation Signature was introduced to really protect and prevent vulnerable victim fraud. So a lot of our work is around raising awareness through the media, through campaigns, through talking to people and trying to prevent the crimes happening in the first place. So the more people know what to look out for, that hopefully the less people are going to fall victim. A victim of fraud is 80% more likely to be targeted again. So because of the sharing of suckers lists, because of the sharing of data, and just the nature of the crime type, it makes them a repeat target. So what we really have to do is try and prevent that happening and to protect them from that contact from the fraudsters.
But it does come down to education and getting clear messages out. Who do they approach? Because there's a lot of confusion as to who they should approach. And of course the term scam tends to imply that it's not illegal. Well, it's not a scam, it's fraud. And people need to get that message hard, but they also need to have a clear point of contact as to where they go.
It's such a hidden, unreported crime, And up until this point, we really had no idea of the scale of it. So to encourage that reporting is really, really important. And then to have some really positive interventions with those individuals, and to be able to work with families and carers and install that change in behaviour, and to really encourage people to be a little bit more suspicious and a little bit less trusting of what they're doing and know what to look out for.